Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel today. Alan back again, and I have another a bar spinner I'd like to review for you today. This is the Legacy V2, and I do not have any of the earlier Legacy releases, so I really don't have anything there to compare it to. But so this is just going to be my opinion, my take on this one, all on its own. So it has a nice R188 bearing. I got this from Spinetic Spinners, and they provided an SBV2 FZ Essentials R188 bearing for it. So that was very nice of them to do that. That is one of my favorite bearings. It does have nice wide brass buttons along with some removable brass weights in it, so you can adjust it. If you want a little bit lighter, you can do that as well. So yeah, not a bad spinner. A little large for my liking, but a lot of people like a larger spinner. So, and that is just fine. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and take this down to the tabletop. Let's break it down. We'll kind of go over it, and I'll give you my thoughts on the Legacy Origin 2.0. Let's go ahead and head down there right now. All right, up close and personal time with the Legacy Origin version 2.0. Just got this recently. I've had a couple days to kind of fiddle around with it, and I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I'm not overly impressed, although a lot of people do love this spinner. I don't know. It really didn't flick my switch too much. See, it does come in a nice tin. It's got the choking hazard, etc. on the back. Kind of a nice little warning to put there. It's got the laser etched Legacy logo on the top, and of course mine is stainless steel, so it's got the little sticker on there. So let's go ahead and pop it open, and you can see there she is. And also with this you get this is an Allen key with a couple of extra set screws for the brass weights that are removable on this spinner, so you get that along with it. But let's go ahead and pull the spinner out itself. There we go. Nice nice foam in the tim. Very nice. Pretty typical for most of your spinners nowadays. There it is. Makes a little bit of noise when I change axes with this thing. As you see, it's got the brass weights that are removable in each arm. You can see the nice diagonal cut, which is a little bit different from the earlier versions of the Origin. Nice wide brass buttons. Very, very comfortable buttons for sure. You got a couple of tritium slots on each side. You see right there, that small arm does have a tritium slot preset there for you, so you can add a tritium vial if you'd like. You can see the set screws on the sides, which hold the weights in. I'm not going to pull the weights out. It's very simple. Put your Allen key in there, back that out, and these weights just drop right out. So, but with the weights in it, it has a much nicer look. If you take the weights out, it's really not that attractive of a spinner. It does spin very, very smoothly. Comes with an SBV2 FZ Essentials bearing, which is kind of a nice little upgrade they've done. Get you a size on this thing. This is the, it's a little over 2 inches. The spin diameter on this. Not the, it makes a little noise on a table spin, so, and I do not know the reason for that. I have tried resetting the bearing in it a couple times to try and get it to not make any kind of, it wants to judder a little bit, although when you're spinning it you really can't feel it. It's pretty smooth. Get a little bit of feedback from it, but not a ton. Edges on this thing, I think they could have softened these up a little bit. To me, they feel a little sharp. Get a little discomfort after spinning this thing for a long period of time. I started messing with it, and of course I do kind of preloaded pull kind of flicks, so I wedge it against my other finger, and as I go to pull it, I can feel it on the tip of my finger here where I'm gripping it, which is right there. and I feel a little bit on my other finger that is, you know, holding it, which is my ring finger. So I do get a little bit of discomfort from it. The buttons, however, are very, very comfortable. Not a problem there. Just the, you know, flicking this thing does get to be a little painful after a while. And this is not exactly the smallest spinner. It is quite thick. I'll set it down here for you, and you can kind of see it easily eclipses ½ inch as far as total thickness with the buttons. As you can see, it is quite thick. So it is it's a lot bigger than your, you know, I'll just use this for reference. The Zenduo Evo. You look at them side by side. So we can kind of line them up here. You can see there is quite a size difference. This one here is about 2 inches, and this one is almost 2 1/4, between 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. So there is a pretty good size difference, and you got your arms that are a lot wider than the Zenduo Evo. As you can see there, it is quite a bit wider. So size wise, it is a little big. It is a little bulky, kind of awkward, I guess is the word I want to use. Like I said, it does have a bearing lock system in it, and it does have the SB V2 by FZ Essentials bearing in it. Nice machining marks underneath the side there. You can see it, whereas the rest is kind of a satin finish, but you can see the machining marks if you take the buttons off. That's the only spot where you can really see them. But yeah, it is a little large, a little bulky for me, a little out of my comfort zone as far as size goes, and of course the way it feels on the edges. To me, it's just a little bit little too sharp. I think they could have rounded these off a little bit more, made it a little bit more comfortable for whoever's using it. It's yeah, it's a little much for me, but still a nice spinner nonetheless. It's very nicely machined and nicely put together, and it looks nice and all that. But as an all-day fidget kind of thing for me, definitely won't be looking to this one to keep me company on a full day for sure. It can be a bit uncomfortable, but you know, it is what it is. Not all spinners are perfect, and you know, this being a subjective hobby, you know, some people are not going to be bothered by the way it feels. So let's go ahead real quick. I'm going to drop this down just a touch. Let's go ahead and take the scale out, and we'll get a weight on it. Let's see what's weighing in. I'm trying to keep that reflection off. I'm using that for light. So let's just you can see, like I said, it's got a little beef to it. It's a little heavier than the Zenduo Evo. It's about 86.7 grams. So it does, not only is it just big and kind of awkwardly shaped, it is a little bit heavy as well. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Not my favorite, not my cup of tea. Although it does look nice. It's got very nice buttons. A lot of nice machining, and a lot of thought went into this. Just a few minor things that could be changed to make it that much better of a spinner. So as you can see, she's balanced really nice. Let's check the actual balance. Yeah, I mean, dead perfect as far as balance goes. Yep, not a problem. So what I think I want to do is I want to get a quick warp video like I do in all my other review videos. Let's throw it out there, put some outside light on it. It's kind of overcast, so I don't know how well this is going to look, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. When we come right back, I will give you my final thoughts on this Legacy Origin version 2.0. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. Final thoughts on the Legacy Origin 2.0. Really not my cup of tea. A little too heavy, edges a little bit too too warm, as you can say. Maybe not so much hot spots, but definitely get a little discomfort from spinning this thing at too long of a period of time. So this is not one that I would carry with me on a regular basis, although I know it is a popular spinner and it does sell out pretty quick. It doesn't really do it for me. But absolutely everything in this community is subjective. So a lot of people, you know, they obviously love this spinner. It is quite popular, and can't fault them for that. Some people like a little bit larger spinner. I prefer one that's a little bit smaller, but you know, to each his own. That's what makes this thing great. So what I'll do is I will leave a link down below to Spinetic spinners or Legacy spinners. Either of those places you can pick this up. Also, if you wouldn't mind, if you enjoyed the video, if you found it informative, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Always appreciate that. I'll leave a couple links down there for the Daily Fidget as well as Spin Space on Facebook. Those are two places that I like to hang out and talk spinners with the large community of people out there. A lot of fun. Be sure you also do that as well. Also, I will leave up in the corner, I will leave a subscription button if you wouldn't mind hitting that. Come back, check out some of my other videos, along with a couple other videos that will be right here for you as well. So, once again, my name is Alan. Thanks for hanging out with me at the channel today. Always appreciate it. Do me one more favor. Keep calm. Spin on. See ya.